Hey everyone, how's it going? Got the day 4 video. I still want you to watch the day 3 video, so I'm going to make this day 4 video a little bit shorter than normal. Sorry for yesterday's confusion with the videos. Hopefully we have it under control now, so we'll see. But hopefully we got the videos working now. So, all right, a couple things I want to talk about with this sentence, and then again, it's not going to be too long of one, but hopefully we got some interesting stuff here for you. The one thing I do want to first talk about, which I found most interesting actually, was a lot of people got wrong dismissively. For some reason, a lot of people said dismissively was an adjective. And I'm not sure why. I think maybe because it's very close to a noun. So the noun is head, and the closest word to it was noun. So you thought adjective would describe the noun. You have to remember the ly rule for adverbs. It's a solid rule and it needs to be used. So dismissively is an adverb. It's ly, it's an adverb. It's describing how he shook his head. How the shaking of the head, not him. He's not dismissively. It's the way he shook his head was dismissively. So just the first one on there, I thought that was interesting. I thought most people would get that right, and it actually was one of the hardest ones on the list. So again, interesting one. I wanted to touch on that. The second one I want to talk about is possessive pronoun. We got another one of those. It'll be on the quiz today too. So just make sure that you are looking at learning that word possessive pronoun. We've talked about it before. We went to online school, so I want to just keep that in your head and make sure you're looking at that his is a possessive pronoun, just not a normal pronoun. I was happy that a lot of people got then as an adverb. I thought that one might be tricky because it's one we haven't really talked about before, and new adverbs that are not ly are usually tricky. But actually the word then scored better than the word dismissively. So I was happy to see that you guys got then pretty well done. I got a couple emails that Merlin was spelled wrong. I actually got it from this book right here, and the character's name was Merlin, so I copied that correctly. So it's not spelled incorrectly. If I was talking about Merlin the wizard from like King Arthur, that would be spelled wrong, but that's not what I was talking about. So just wanted to clear that up with a couple people who thought I spelled that incorrectly. All right, last thing I want to talk about is there's a clause in the sentence. We know that there's a clause in the sentence because of the comma right there. And that was a semicolon, that it would be a compound sentence, possibly, but it's a comma, so that means it's a complex sentence. Complex sentence. I'll type that in there just so we can see it. It's a complex sentence. We know that's because it's a comma, but we also know that this right here is a clause. How do we know it's a clause? It's an incomplete idea, then shook his head dismissively. There's no subject. It starts with an adverb, then a verb. There's no subject. This is a clause. The second part of the clause. The first part is the main part of the sentence. Merlin is the subject, considered as a verb. The idea is the object. That's a complete sentence. Merlin considered the idea. It could be a period there. Then shook his head dismissively is not a complete sentence. If that was it, if that was all we had, this then shook his head dismissively, that is a clause, and it would be a sentence fragment because there's no subject and because it's a clause. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. It's, again, a little bit quicker than the other ones, and we will hopefully watch day 3 and day 4. Hopefully it won't be too much for you, and you have a good time. And see you today at 10 at Zoom. All right, thanks, guys.